I mean, there's something that Coach Didi Dramani is doing, Kelvin. Players who were on the fringes last season, he's beginning to get the best out of them. Enoch Esubontin getting Hearts-of-Oak that very, very important win.
Well, I think that if you look at Didi Dramani and how he's transformed teams over the years, his time at Asante Kotoko, his time with the national teams, he's very pragmatic. He doesn't want to deviate from his core principles, which is, you know, not conceding in games. And if you look at Hearts-of-Oak, their major strength is not conceding in any of their 3 games. All they have to do is to convert the goal-scoring opportunities that they have, which I think that the Phobians haven't been very prudent in the 3 games that they've played in the final third, and that is what seems to be lacking. If they're able to put, away their chances, they should be beating teams by 3 goals, 4 goals, or even 2 goals to nil to have a resounding victory and be much more, confident of going into games with a conviction that, yes, they will amass all the 3 points at stake.
Now, Michael, I mean, Hearts-of-Oak have not scored enough goals, but the wins are not pretty. But would you say that Coach Masudi Dramani will just be happy with getting 3 points from each game if they play like this?
I think 2 things are working for him. One, adaptability. He knows the strength of his squad and he's trying to deal with it. If you know the quality that you have and you align roles according to the kind of quality you have, I think you're going to get results. Maybe in attack, there's 1 or 2 things they will need to do, especially the partnership up front, where you look at Hearts-of-Oak trying to create enough to get the needed goals. But Abdul Karim has actually been a good player for Hearts-of-Oak in that setup, and Hussein, linking midfield and attack, has also been consistent and good for Hearts-of-Oak. I think for that area, they don't have any problem. And defense, with Osei Sibe, the needed experience at the back line, it's been quality performances in the recent games that we've actually watched from Hearts-of-Oak. But they will just need some 1 or 2 things to click up front, and I think we are going to see the 3 goals and 4 goals for Hearts-of-Oak.
Of course, and we know that Hearts-of-Oak secured a win in their 3rd game of this year's Ghana Premier League, a slim 1-0 win over 11 Wonders. But the games also are going to be played today in the Ghana Premier League. Not just this game, that is Nations FC and Samartex. There are other games that will be played, and we'll go through the fixtures quickly. We already know that Adriana yesterday got a 2-1 win over Swedru All Blacks, so it was a big win for them. Swedru All Blacks having scored in all the away games this season in the Ghana Premier League. So we'll look at the fixtures for today, or match day 3. There's Nations FC against Samartex, which will bring you live on TV3 and Onya TV. Then there's Young Apostles also coming up against Dreams FC at Wench. Heart of Lions will be at the Pando Stadium as they are chasing their 3rd win of the season. They would come up against Bechim United. There's also that big one at the Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium. Karela United, or Karela United FC, they will be taking on Mediama SC, and Vision FC at the Ni Ajay Krakow Stadium would also taking Ho United, and this is a game that we are looking forward to. So there's more to talk about. I mean, this fixture, that is Nations and Samartex. The coaches have spoken to us, and we will let you have that shortly, but we'll take a quick breather. We will be right back. Of the Ghana Premier League. It's match day 3 here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. As Nations FC are coming up against Samartex. I've already told you that Nations have been a boogie side to Samartex ever since they got promoted into the league. And I'm here with Kelvin Osu and signed Kumasi-based journalist Michael Akomia. It's Nations against Samartex, a fixture that has proven a tough crack for Samartex. 4 meetings, 3 wins for Nations, and today another game is on.
Definitely a recent winner versus an ambitious challenger when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. I think the most important thing for Nations FC in recent years is about how they've been able to keep the core of the team. They still have Razak Simpson, they still have Osei Kofo, they still have players like Prince Bedu, who has proven to be a stalwart in that particular midfield role for Nations FC. Sadiq Alassane left the team. Abdul Karim also left to Hearts of Folk. But I think if you have a player like Kevin Ampofo, who can also complement Prince Bedu in that particular midfield, you have enough quality to give you the results. The first game, they went with a 3-back, and I think it was with Kwame Boache, Razak Simpson, and Osei Kofo, which gave them enough men in the middle of the pack to overload Swedro All Blacks. They did the same against Adriana Stars, but unfortunately, they could not win that particular game against Adriana Stars far away. You look at Samartex, that I actually believe they've not been able to do a proper squad building after winning the league. Some key players have left the club, but in terms of replacing them with the same quality, it's been quite difficult for them. Evans Osei Capito left the team, they've not been able to replace him. Emmanuel Keyeke left the team, Seydou Dauda left the team, they've not been able to replace them with enough quality. It's about quality for quality, not quality for quantity. That is what we are talking about in terms of squad building, and they've not been able to do that. But a player like Solomon Ejane, who was injured in the first few games for them, he ended the season so well last season, scoring crucial goals for Samartex, but started the season with an injury, but now back into the team, hoping that he can add something to the team.
Of course. Now, Kelvin, 2 seasons ago, Samartex blew everyone away in the Ghana Premier League, won it. Yeah. Last season, they finished 7th. This season, they had a very good in-situ cup, but they've started the season poorly. 2 games, 2 draws.
Well, you can understand, you know, a lot of changes in the team, and they are trying to build up a new team. The likes of Emmanuel Mama, Ebenezer Akwa are trying to, you know, fill up with the new players like Abdul Latif. So critically, the core of the team has been broken up a bit, and they would need, you know, some time to put the team together. The most important fact is they haven't lost a game, and now they can build on. If they're able to get a very resounding result, which they are being pushed to get it, I think that it would work for them. They will need some time, and I think that after 2 games, you know, not getting a loss, we'll just push them. We can possibly go for the win, and once the win comes, they'll be able to put together a very good team, and then we'll now know the balance and chemistry that can help them win games.
One of the main factors for Nations FC doing well in the Ghana Premier League has to be this venue, the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. The whole of last season, they lost just 3 games in the Ghana Premier League, and they are bent on making it a fortress again. This is how they made their way to the stadium. The players coming out from the bus, very, very confident. They know that if they want to win the Ghana Premier League again, they need to make this venue a proper slaughterhouse. Do you think against Samartex they can continue with that?
I think it's a frustrating time for Samartex, especially when they have bad away records. In the last 10 away games, they've only won 3. And that was against Legon Cities and Iswath Remind. And you know, these clubs, they are not teams that are going to compete for the league. So for the top half of the league, it's been very difficult for Samartex to get results against such clubs. And Nations FC finds itself to be part of that particular kind of squad that we always see when it comes to the Ghana Premier League.
So this is the dressing room of the home team, and this is how the FC Samartex also made their way to the venue. Christopher Ennin, very frustrated after their last draw, and talks about the fact that though they've not beaten Nations FC before, today could be that day, Kelvin. He seems very confident going into this one.
Well, he may be very much confident, all because he's working with new players and knows that Nations FC also have a number of changes to their team. They haven't been as resolute as they used to be, and judging from how they lost their last 2 home games last season, that could not help them, which even in the top 4 clearly gives you an indication of the confidence that Christopher Ennin knows that yes, if that team has been able to lose, it means that they are beatable at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. But as to whether he can man up and put together a solid team that can cause the same havoc which other clubs caused last season is a question they would have to unravel. Like, they have all the tools to do that, but as to whether they are capable.
So the game will kick off in a few minutes' time, and when the coaches got to the venue, we spoke to them. For Kasim Mingle, he wasn't too happy with their last game against Adriana where they lost, but for this particular game against Samartex, he's optimistic that results will go their way. Coach, good to have you. Match day 3, Nations FC against Samartex. You lost your last game against Adriana and you are not happy. What kind of reaction are you expecting from your boys this afternoon?
I'm expecting them to respond to the defeat we had at Ndoma. They make sure they're going to make amends for whatever happened there to please the fans, to make them happy.
Okay. You're coming up against a team which hasn't beaten Nations FC before. Does the history favor you, and is it going to be business as usual?
No, football times it changes. So we're not going to be complacent that we've been beating them always. We're going to work hard for it. After working hard, and I think the success will come.
Now, you nearly snatched a draw against Adriana, so you can pick positives from that game. But going into this one, which areas have you worked on to ensure you get victory?
Oh, definitely we work at our attack and defense. That's where we normally work. Our midfield, we always take control of the place. So we sharpen the attack and the defense to make the defense very difficult for opponents to break through, and the attack sharp to be able to take the defenders on and get what we needed, the goals.
Finally, you came close to winning the Ghana Premier League for the first time last season. Is that vision still on? Does Nation FC want to go for the title?
The vision is still on. It's still on. We want to go for the ultimate. All those participating are ready to go for the ultimate. We're also ready to go for it.
Coach, we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Kasim Mingo Okanse, formerly of Bechem United, now coach of Nations FC, and he says that the target is to win the league. For the away coach, Christopher Enning, they've not beaten Nations FC in 4 occasions, and he believes that today could be that day. Coach Christopher Enning, Samartex, you've not started the season too well. 2 games, 2 draws. What has accounted for the slow start?
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you to your listeners too. Well, it's part of the game. Sometimes you must start well and end up, or in the middle you drop. So when things begin like this early, it helps you as a coach to do the correction early as possible before going into the main games.
Now, when you drew your last game, I could hear the frustration from your post-match. What have you done differently today as you're coming up against Nations?
Yeah, definitely. Drawing at home is quite not okay, but I was able to sack the boys, make them understand that they are the best. I knew them, that is why I brought them, so they should give their best. And we did a lot of corrections on our previous games, and then even the game that we drew, so we really work on it. So I think we are good to go today.
Now, you've not been able to beat Nations FC ever since they qualified into the league. 4 games against them. They've won 3, and 1 has ended in a draw. Will that change today?
Definitely, because on my last day here, we lost 3-0, and when I was leaving, I made a promise to myself, because you can't beat me twice. So today is going to be a very good game.
Thanks very much, Coach, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
So you've heard from the 2 coaches, and this promise is to be a cage encounter here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. It is Nations FC against Samartex, and Kelvin Owusu-Ansah will be joining Benjamin Willie Graham to bring us commentary. The teams are in the tunnel and ready to do battle. See you after the first 45 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Brankesi Stadium here in Kumasi, where football meets passion and dreams collide under the rhythm of the Premier League drum beat. It is match week 3, and the stage is set for Nations FC against FC Samartex. The green grass of the Brankesi whisper promises of drama, of hope, of glory, and yet untold. Well, it's always the moment where the home side looking to gather all the momentum that they want to have in a match, where the 3 points is always important for them. Nations FC, with their youthful fire, seek to etch their story into the league's unfolding canvas. But for Samartex, seasoned and stubborn, much here with ambition, half deeper in their stride. And today's ground becomes more than soil and turf. It becomes a theater of belief, providing ground where every pass, every tackle, and every goal writes a verse in the poetry of Ghanaian football. And these players know exactly what the script will be for them as they march onto the field to start this action today here at the Brankesi Stadium. So the anthem of passion for this match certainly will be giving us a huge uproar, and the fans will be looking forward to yet another cruel encounter between the 2 sides. For Nations FC, their quest to win the Premier League title was nearly almost there until it was snatched away by Gold Stars, who currently are also looking to right history in the CAF Champions League competition. Having lost 2-0 at home to JS Kabylie, they travel all the way down to Algeria to see if they can change the script once again in the CAF Champions League there. But tonight, or this afternoon, it's always about the home side Nations FC, who are in the all-white outfit there, looking forward to see how best they can change their narrative against FC Samartex. Samartex had the opportunity of a pre-season competition back at the Century Stadium, where they hosted a lot of a Premier League side. And I tell you what, this is where they want to change almost everything, getting the chance to be part of the Premier League story. It's one competition that I've really seen the Samartex side, who certainly are very much buoyant at home. They have to show class. They've played some quality matches here. One very interesting matches against the likes of Kumasi Asante, Kotoko, Hartlepool. All of them have had to struggle playing Nations FC at home here. But this is a story where they come up against FC Samartex, and a side that is also looking buoyant, aren't they?
Well, two brilliant teams who have come together.
Well, I tell you what, so this is a starting lineup there for Samartex. Stand on there. The foreign goalkeeper is in the post there together with the likes of Razak Simpson, who's also going to play a part in this game. But I tell you what, having the name of Samuel Osekufo in the setup clearly tells the story there. There's only one change that's been made there by Samartex. Richard Danso replacing Samuel Tete.
Well, I think it's a very good team. He understands the players that he's playing with, Osekufo, and all the other players are players he's worked with. Emmanuel Arno, he's working with Razak Simpson, Richard Danso, very much, experience when it comes to the local team. And Kasimego Okansi definitely understands that chemistry cannot be broken. The reason why he's kept the core he played with last weekend.
Well, so that's the change they made 4-3-3. They try as much as possible come into the game. Razak Simpson is the man who scored his debut goal for the Black Stars in their match against Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Cup match. It was an international friendly back in London.
So because that he couldn't have enough games to prove himself worthy during the last international break, he understands that he needs to quickly get back to the national team.
Top referees there for the game. Daniel Lai is the center referee, supported by Seth Ablato, Alexo Sam, and Ativa Dari is also here for this afternoon's encounter between Nations and Samartex. Samartex ringing in 3 changes. Zakaria Musa, the goalkeeper, is in for Rafiq Issa, who is out today's game. And also out of the match is Latif Abdul, who is now coming in to replace Faisal. And you're also looking at some of the changes they've made in the setup. It's very much interesting having Augustino Fori out of the game for Solomon Ajay in today's game. But I tell you, your take will be on the Gripman brothers. Roland Gripman, who's also on the bench there. His brother, Raymond Oko Gripman, is also on the bench there. But that's the man who is somewhat, do I say he's on fire? But the fans are looking for something extra from him.
Well, it will take some time for him to put the team together to be that solid as they witnessed 2 seasons ago. He's very much interested in building the youth. Very quality coach on the local scene. If you can ask me, you look at the setup he's put together, the likes of Emmanuel Mama, Felix Junior Kodia, and Solomon Ajay, as well as Abdul Latif joining the team will give them that, strength that he has always wanted, and especially in the heart of defense. Kofi Abeshima, with all his experience from Bechem, from Hartlepool, will partner Ibn Izakwa, who's been a stalwart for Samartex in the last 3 seasons. I think he has a very good team, but it will take some time for that chemistry to be realized.
Oh, they're trying to back their hopes there on Emmanuel Arnaud, the striker there for the side. There's Nations FC. There's a lot of talk about these players who are here in terms of their performance, and you want to see how the 2 players or the 2 teams will be playing a very tough game Monday. For the fans, they have to come in their number to support their side. There's always going to be the talk about, their goalkeeper, Rabin Usman Sainon from Burkina Faso. So this is the Abrancas Stadium. And so we definitely are looking forward to a huge, huge game. Faisal Chawete is a club top scorer with 12 goals and the league 2nd top scorer this season. So you look to see what exactly he brings on the table there. So the drums of our Brancas Thunder and the beautiful game once again reminds us where we gather, because in 90 minutes, legends can be born here, hearts can be broken as well. But it's football that definitely gives us the magic that we are looking for. Welcome once again wherever you find yourself. It is the home side, Nations FC, who are sporting the all-white. Razak Simpson, a 30 shirt, lifting one dip into the half of Samartex by Zakaria Musa. Because today the man in the goalpost there, interesting decision there to bench Shaibu Rafiq Isa for Razak Musa. But one of the decisions that you're looking forward to see exactly how that would have to work there for Samartex.
Much experience. And speaking to and as Kwame, he understood that yes, the performance of Zakari Musa clearly better than what he witnessed from the other goalkeeper. The reason why he is in post today.
Very impressive record there for Nations FC. Very much unbeaten in the league. Samartex searching for their first win here, but a bit of an injury situation there for Samartex's top player there, the man spotting the shed there, and
I think that was a rash challenge from
absolutely.
Abe. He rushed it. There seemed to be a heavy tackle right there to the shin of his man, and clearly he's in pain. That was too heavy a tackle, and it could possibly take him out of the game.
That'll be very much the sad situation there. Just under 2 minutes there to have a player taken out, and it alters almost everything. Well, with a 4-3-3 formation, you definitely are looking to see how best able to show in midfield and you attack if you get the chance to see exactly how the team is set up here.
Well, clearly the team may be set up in a manner that you would have expected them to play well, but they're certainly going to be content. You may want to prove all ragged in that midfield, but come on, that was too heavy on him, and Enin is currently thinking about which player should possibly come on to replace him.
Well, not the most vociferous of the fans here at the Branca Stadium for Mengo. He'll be looking to see how they support Wiyern or come up with something special for them. Tell you what, there's a problem there for
Abdul Latif. You know, he just joined them this season in the heart of midfield. He's expected to do most of the link-up play between the defense and the midfield. That should be a blow.
I guess a lot of decisions will be made there on the bench for Samartex as they try to attack the half of the home side. Session one here is Richard Danso trying to push moment forward here. Lovely play there from Richard Danso, curtailed beautifully by Kwame Owusu.
You would expect him to get stronger. You know, he's one of the brightest sports that came through Ghana's under-17, coached by Pakwesi Faben 5 years ago. But he's fallen off that radar.
Oh, wow. Abe through here for Nations FC. Danso back to Abe, the left-footed player, trying to dig one into the box. Now be collected there by Zakaria Musa. Leaves a promising attacking play there from Abe and Nations FC.
Though we're looking forward to him joining the attack so many times as the outlet to be swinging in those deliveries. But Musa knew the danger coming too close to him.
Once again, you're trying to see how these two teams will move in. Samuel Mensah here for Samartex. So it's going to be tough there in terms of defensive play. Not the best of work there from Emmanuel Mama. Ball taken away from him. Razak Simpson trying to calm things down at the half of defense there for Nations. Asel Kufo to the right-hand side. Nations FC trying to keep possession neat and simple at the heart of midfield. Sent in up front. Danso waiting in the box there. Abe also trying to charge forward, but again, it's a lot of runs on the right-hand side. But again, it's going to be an advantage there for the visitors, Samartex. But again, another promising run there from Arno. And expecting a lot of work to be done from him. This man is the top or the pin-up boy there for Nations FC in today's game.
Well, he's expected to get in those deliveries too. Faisal Chawiti together with Richard Danso on the right-hand side of attack is going to be very deadly. And it's going to ask lots of questions from Emmanuel Edusian, the captain for Samartex.
Danso, oh, lovely control there, Ben. And Danso again had to give the ball away, but Abe collected beautifully for Nations, doing a lot of work on the left-hand side there. Left-footed player Abe. Danso goes to ground again. You're looking forward to a call that should be coming in, but not Kwame Boachi wouldn't get the call there from the referee.
So clearly see that, you know, Daniel Lai was close to the action. He saw it. There was no way he was going to whistle for a foul.
Samartex. Owusu. To play beautiful work there here And as they try to move forward, Solomon Ajay turning beautifully. Now it's fine space on the left-hand side as the captain try to move now. And now it is Samartex ball into the box again. Not the best of clearance, but again, it's been won back. And you still have Ajay. Solomon Ajay curls one into the box. Razak Simpson's clearance back to Samartex. Now in total control. Try to open up the defense of Nations. Jinim Boateng was also packed in terms of the attacking play. Good play here. And here comes Tete. Mama. And once again, it's still the visitors who are currently controlling. It is Tete once again. Oh, lovely turn here. Beautiful work there from the visitors. Possession is lost and won there by Kelvin Ampofo.
Very good tidy work there done by Ampofo. He's going to do most of the scrap picking. And he put himself in a very good position.
Absolutely.
To pick up those loose balls.
Mensa Tete's ball into the far post. Now who's going to connect home? Yeah, keeper nearly fluffed it, but again, it comes back to him. He's been picked up by the Burkinabe goalkeeper. Sign on. Danso. Now for Nations. Control. Abe. And Arno here. Oh, lovely work there from Arno. Good play. Arno. Danso is waiting. Trying to turn to the right. Left-hand side. He finds Danso here. Danso strikes again. That's very, very, very unproductive.
Highly unproductive. They could have done better. He could have shot it better. The idea was clear. But the execution lacking that power and accuracy with respect from him. Brilliant work from Arno. Weaving his way through an area of men. He got himself in a position where he had to be logged. Fed Danso with the ball. But the finish could have been better.
This is known as the 9 and 10 encounter. Nations FC sit currently on the Premier League table with on the 9th position with 3 points. Samartex sitting 10th with 2 points after week 2. Samartex looking for the first opening here. And they try to cut open the defense. And this time they will have to hit the ball from afar from Kwame Usu. Possession one back. Mensa Tete here. Samartex just moving and turning around there, but the ball just going off the line for a throw-in advantage there to the home side. Solomon Ajay couldn't quite control, but he comes in for Augustine Ofori, who is not even on the bench there for Samartex. He started a match against Karela. Augustine Ofori is not here because of injury. Now there's going to be another concern there for Nations FC.
Well, that seems to be a ragged challenge there coming in from Abdul Latif. He clearly knew exactly what he was doing, and he had to step right in front of Bedu to prevent him from having a very good touch of that ball. It's going to be a battle in that midfield.
Well, so this Razak Simpson here, pretty much of a quiet moment. These two teams are looking to do a lot of work. And so there's been a lot of players who've had to make some movements there for Nations FC, and just look at the foul here. And Kelvin Ampofo was brought down, and so that's an advantage. And Danso here, oh, lovely ball picked up on the chest there, but quickly taken away from him. And this is going to be obviously a call there by the referee. And it's been pretty much an open game between the two sides, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be an end-to-end action. These are two sides who like to allow the ball to flow, express themselves on the pitch. That was a very beautiful ball delivered onto the chest of Richard Danso. But he has to be sharp because Kofi Abechima and Ebenezer Akwa are not going to give him more than 10 seconds to make a decision.
Tete. Chance well. Well, it's Mama's strike here, but has been picked up by Sainon as well. Again, this is the man who's been trying to work things out, Kodia. And we still want to see which of the works there that will be coming in excitingly there for Samartex. Talked about the fact that they did host a lot of teams back home. And during the off-season, couldn't quite pick the title there. Allowed the teams to come all the way to the Century Stadium to win the title.
Kodia, very brilliant there.
But for the title, it would have to depend. Samartex may be looking for it again. But Nations in the last 3 seasons have come very close to it. Maybe this season could be their season. The undoing was last season in the final 4 games of the season where they lost 3 of those games. It wasn't a pleasant sight. They had to end up finishing 4th for a team that was in the top 2.
Tell you what, so still a lot of work to be done there. So Martin Akolgo, he came all the way from Wafa to play a part there for Nations FC. You talk about Wafa and what once upon a time they did in the Premier League. Wafa. Tete here picks up the ball here for Samartex. That's back, wins it back again. The right full back and trying to take the ball into the box there. Not the best of clearance there. It's been picked up beautifully by Sekufo. Some years ago, there was a setting in Manuel Sekufo played a part for Hartlepool and Kumasia Santiago, one of the most intelligent midfielders Ghana ever produced in the local league.
He ended up playing almost all the positions, including being a goalkeeper at one point in time when he played for the Black Stars.
Everything, and so this could be one of the most moments there for Dasu. Fails to hit it. Abe! Oh. How close can that be? How close can that be? And this man, Nathaniel Anete Abe, joined Nations as a free agent. With that opportunity, he could have freely hit the back of the net there for Nations.
That is Emmanuel Ano starting everything again. He weaved that magic, got to Danso. Danso got them back onto the right-hand side. Faisal Chawete's delivery, Danso missed it. And I think Abe could have taken his time. And that penalty area, composure is very much key. He didn't have the right of body balance, and he had to shoot wide. Way off target.
Oh, it's a great chance, absolutely great chance for this man there. I know he's able to win back possession beautifully there for Nations. Now they try to win, and possession, not the best of display there by Xiao. Ano looking for Chawete. Ano again wins it, Chawete in the box, he turns well, he goes for a solo strike, he's been blocked. And it's been a very busy moment there in the box of Samartex.
Has looked more lively. Faisal Chawete last season scored 12 goals very early in the season. But getting to the tail end, he went on a very lengthy goal drought. And you can attribute that to the fact why Nations FC couldn't win the Ghana Premier League. They'll be looking to him this season once again for that inspiration to win games at home.
And then worried there, but again, it's the near post has been cleared. And once again, Samartex struggling to clear the lines, but possession back in midfield has been returned. So Kufo doing his job in midfield and defensive work. Watch it. Here comes Kufo. Prince Pedu also in the pick of a first there. Chawete was a target here, but couldn't quite pick it up. And so Zakaria Musa. That's just doing his job there. It's pretty much been the busiest of the 2 goalkeepers.
Quickly looking for that opener to settle down at home. And every ball seems to be pointing towards the direction of Faisal Chawete. He is the lead marksman. And they'll be wanting him to be picking up on those balls. But I think Musa has done a decent job so far in post.
That's one of the changes made there by the coach Shenin in terms of his approach to this game. Shows it's a team that is looking for some bit of a response, attacking play. Remember, they had to go down in the game at home against Karela, who lost to Hartlepool in the Friday evening match against Accra Hartlepool. Was sent there by the Nations Kwame Boachi. He's been picked up by the Burkina goalkeeper as well. So defensively, you look at the shape there. It's obviously going to be Boachi, Razak, and Osekufo. They're playing a 3-back system there, Nations FC. Trying to make sure that they control the midfield, and then again, they feed the attacking options of Arnaud, Danso, and sometimes Abe joining as well.
It's a good lineup that can be varied at any point in time in the game. Aklogo Martin dropping in if they want to defend in the back 4. Nathaniel Abe could also drop in if they want to defend in the back 4 with someone on the cycle 4 pushing down the right-hand side. It allows them that fluidity and ability to change at any point in time.
Danso again, the ball taken over from him. Samartex moving. Emmanuel Mama sends it back and finds Owusu. And now in control in midfield quite well. There's a Latif Abdul. And it comes to him again. Latif finds support in Owusu. Now they want to control the midfield there. This is Owusu to Latif again. Hit the ball down to the left-hand side. So it's going to be huge work to see exactly what the temperament of the game will have to be. Christian Ejenim Boateng, who joined Samartex this season, also not able to keep possession. So obviously going to be a lot of work to be done there by these two teams.
I think that Ejenim will need to be at his optimum best. Aklogo filling in that space every single time they decide to go expansive. And that is going to be his job as a wing back. You need to be defensively and offensively solid at any point in time.
Abe is the better of Atete. And supporter coming through. Again, just not able to go in there, but this time it's going to be the moment where the goalkeeper felt that he could have done something special, but that was a great strike by Kelvin Ampofo. And again, I understand the reason why Zakaria is in the post today, but that was a great work there from Ampofo. Look at the curler. Oh, one time he dealt with it.
Well, very good gather there as the central midfielder. He got into the right position to pick up on that loose ball. Got past his man with that shimmy. But I think that there could have been much more venom in that shot. P to pick it up.
A lot of work. Quality play there from Solomon Ajay. Ejenim Boateng has a circle 4 to beat. Finds a run into the far side and digs the ball in again. It's wayward effort there by the visitors. Were struggling to at least get the clear-cut opening in the half of Nations FC.
Delivery down from the left-hand side. So we're looking forward to Emmanuel Mama latching onto those deliveries together with Cordia. Mama had to lead, but he was just somewhere in between the two defenders, the Cycle 4 and Simpson. They couldn't have that liberty to have the best of connection to that ball. Looks like both teams have different modes of attacking each other.
I'll tell you what, last season on Sunday, May 25th, match day 32, it was an interesting display there by the two sides there, where Nations beat Samartex by 3-0. Nations here trying to attack here. And again, it's going to be a corner kick advantage. Just telling you a story about last season's work there between Nations and Samartex. And again, there's Samartex that is looking to this time get the keys to the defensive door.
Defensive work there from a Cycle 4. He knew exactly what Christian Ejenim Boateng wanted to do. Just shot himself in front of him, and he had to just block that effort for a corner kick. This is a sign of the weakness when you play with a 3-back. Your laterals would need to cover at every point in time.
Again, this is not the best of goals there to beat goalkeeper Sainon, so Emmanuel Mama will say that. So I tell you what, last season it was 3-0 for Nations FC. Emmanuel Ano scored in the 61st minute. Faisal Chawite made it 2-0 in the 76th minute. And Kelvin Ampofo in the 83rd minute scored. And he was the player of the match, Kelvin Ampofo. I tell you what, the three players are all in the starting lineup of Nations FC. And again, it's a match between Nations FC and Samartex.
Distance they may be there, but the other players who make things easier for them in that midfield are also not present, including Sadiq Abubakar and then also Abdul Karim, who's currently joined Accra Hattifo. The rest of the midfielders, Prince Bedu and Kelvin Ampofo, need to be at their very best in order to give them supply that will be good enough for them to hit the target.
Ejenim Boateng and look to kill this one to the far post against Sainon. Well, they are pretty much aware of the threats that Nations FC do possess here at home. So Samartex really want to give the balls away in very dangerous areas there for Nations to punish them. But definitely a very tough game there for the two sides.
Samartex made themselves into the game much more stronger than you would have expected, and they've given Nations lots to think about.
I know here, Sends the ball into the box. Danso was just late in arriving. Oh, that was a great opportunity there. And they're just almost setting the balls deep into the box. They are looking for the attacking players to poke some of the chances they've been creating. Another long ball, Kufuor's ball in, and again it's a sliding ball. Ooh, that was a great effort there from Chawete, the man who scored the second last season against Samartex. Nearly got himself another goal here.
He's the man that will be looking forward to goals. Brilliant delivery there from Cycle 4. Faisal knew the ball was just moving far away from him. He had to slide in. And with that acrobatic kick, nearly found the opener, but brilliant piece of goalkeeping also from Zachary Musa to keep that out.
Halfway through the first 45 minutes already, and it's been lots and lots of chances there for Nations FC. Another corner kick taking into the ball. Kufuor's header again collected there by Zachary as well. There's been 4 matches played on Sundays between Samartex and Nations FC. Nations have picked up 3 wins, scored 7 goals. Samartex yet to win a Sunday game between themselves and that of Nations. They only scored 1, and they have drawn 1 of those games against Nations on a Sunday. It's been a total of 3 wins and a draw between the two sides since the 2023-24 season. The Nations are unbeaten in their previous games against FC Samartex 1996.
Been able to build up this team strongly. So we're looking forward to at least having a laugh over Nations this time around.
And so this time they still may have opportunity, but the referee says no, that's a very legal tackle. Well, again, it's a very sad situation there for Felix Junior Kodia, who was thinking the ball should have gone for him.
That was brilliant play there, getting past Razak Simpson. But impressive touch from Kwame Boachi after that pressure from Samuel Cycle 4.
Again, they're trying to clear things from the 18-yard box. Samartex a bit aggressive, and that's a quality display there from Solomon Ajay. Another best of effort there from him.
Clearly, you can see he wants to be hitting those foul drivers just outside the penalty area. But he hasn't been able to hit the target in all of the instances he's tried. You know, try again and you might succeed.
Nations. Chawete. And Xiao wins it from Chawete. And Ajay back to Xiao. Jenny Boateng back to the captain, and they find solace in the goalkeeper. Well, this season really hasn't started pretty well there for Nations FC. Picked up just a win against Swedru All Blacks. They went behind but came back strongly in the second half to win them by 2-1. But the first game, they had to lose at home to Heart of Lions, surprisingly. But last season, they lost that game by 2-0 at home to Heart of Lions. This season, they've also picked up some bit of defeat there. And this is a home game they're playing. And they lost to Gianna Stars in League 2 of the Premier League. And they're hoping to pick things up here against Samartex, with themselves. They're not going to be an easy target at all for them.
Doma is always a dreaded venue by the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. That has been a fortress for them. They need to make sure they pick up as many points as they can and limit the number of draws. And the 3 losses they encountered last season must be reduced if they really want to show up themselves for the GPL title.
Tete here. Mama back to Tete, and Tete looking for space. Mama just waiting for a cross in the box, but he tried to do it, and solo it goes, and it's been picked up again by Rabin Usman Sinon.
Sinon, very excellent goalkeeper. As far back as April, he was the goalkeeper of the month at the 2023-2024 Ghana Premier League, as well as 2024-2025. He's a goalkeeper you can trust. Safest pair of hands from Salitas United, free agent to join the Nations Football Club. You can trust him to give you the very best of hands inside the post.
Mama and then Danso fighting for possession. Danso wins it. There's Nations FC here. Ampafo scored against Samartex last season, and he wins a corner kick.
It's quite an intelligent play there from them, expansively making sure that they feed up the ball to Richard Danso and Emmanuel Ano. But that was very good gather there from Emmanuel Siam, blocking that effort for a corner kick. There's been lots for him to do, so Siam hasn't been able to join the attack like he normally wants to do. A Moravian left-footed lateral player.
The former Wafa player, Kogo, behind the ball here. It's one into the box, and Ampofu's header. It was Zach Simpson. It was a handball situation, yes, it was. According to Daniel Lai.
He went in with the arm, and it was clearly showing, trying to steal the ball just in front of Kofi Abeshima. Daniel Lai was close to the action. There was no way he was going to allow that to get past him. Very good officiating.
It's the best of the stuff there for Samartex themselves. They're the best off-season performance or displayed. They didn't really get the rhythm right in the off-season campaign when they had to host some of the clubs at the Century Stadium. And now they are winless in 3 Premier League games played this season. They had to draw against Vision FC in match day 1 and then picked up a draw at home against Karela FC. And so again, they need just to win this game to ensure that they have the best of performance before the next home game.
Early days here, but they quickly need to bounce back strongly. They've disintegrated the squad which they had about 2-3 seasons ago. They're trying to rebuild a newly entire squad of, debutants in the Ghana Premier League and first-time players who are playing for Samartex, and they're a coach who trusts patience, time, and development. The fans may not be patient, but the coach clearly understands that the difficulties that will come.
Well, Teta's ball whipped into the box, and it was looking for the Meridian run of Christian Ejen Boateng. Couldn't quite get to him. Again, it's just the both sides are trying to get the opening. It's not really coming the way they want it. Some of the set pieces have really not been threatening enough. I tell you what, it's something that you expect the two sides to come out with something. There's a corner kick advantage there for the visitors, Samartex. Just behind the ball there is Iman Samuel. Mensa Tete lifts down to the far post, is better down again. He goes wayward. It's going to be another corner kick advantage to Samartex.
Oseko knew the danger that was coming. If you leave those aerial balls to fall to Emmanuel Mama, by the side, he can just connect to it. Safety first from Kofo, and he knows that will help avert any danger before havoc occurs.
Corner kick advantage there for the Samartex side. He has scored. Xiao looking to hit this one in and eludes almost everybody, but Danso picks up the pieces here. And the counter-attack advantage. Drop the ball down to the right-hand side. They're looking for the huge run. Not to pick it up. And couldn't quite deal with the situation again. It was a counter-attack very far of it there. And this time it's always going to be difficult for them to deal with it.
Trusted the pace of Ano, but that was too much. Heavily hit from Danso. Maybe a little patience could have allowed Ano to gain that momentum and time to be able to pick up that ball.
With just on the nick of winning the Premier League title, Nations FC. Absolutely, they believe they were there. And they're going to crown the league title until the unfortunate incident that happened and eventually derailed almost all their efforts. And since then, they've brought in a lot of changes in terms of management. And they see they can whip in a lot of momentum and get the fans behind them. So this season and be successful for them. And pretty much interesting how they've started things. And Ampofo picks it up and then sends that to the right-hand side. Martin hooked the ball in. It's been cleared, but again, not the best of effort there against Aqua with that clearance. Zach Simpson all alone in his own half. Sekufa picks it up here. Half an hour gone already at the Brancasi Stadium. Ball hit into the box now. It's been dealt with brilliantly, absolutely great effort there by Zakaria Musa. And so this is Prince and Kelvin Amplefoot's combination of circle 4 here. Drops the ball even to the near post there, but Kelvin was simply lurking. But this time it was Chawate who nearly got a chance to do something.
Very decent delivery into the box there. Amplefoot did his best to just put in that flake on, but Chawate was just late to it, and goalkeeper Musa came out to pick it up and nearly spilled it, but he quickly got it to avert the danger. Clearly, Oseko has been sending in some brilliant deliveries, and hopefully one of them will latch on to a very good path for Chawate to finish up.
Here comes into Martin Aklogu here. And you're looking to Prince Bedu, and it is Chawate looking to turn well, and Amplefoot again couldn't hit the rebound. Good force, and Aklogu's ball again is being repelled by Samartex. They have been under the pressure. Jay looking for Janim Boateng, and this time it's Owen's Mama who sends it back, and it is going to be a Jay here. Samartex not giving up. They are not overawed by the opportunities that nations have had just around their box. Martin Akogo on him. And now it's going to be, here comes Tete. Tete looking to turn around 360. He does it there. Tete hits the ball into the box, and the time it comes in. And again, looking for a corner kick advantage there, but wouldn't quite give it to his Mama here. Oh, that's a lovely ball there from Tete. And Mama, well, it does. It came off the body of Razak Simpson. No matter how the legal advantage in terms of his argument.
Well, the officials missed that, but clearly that was a very good turn around there by Samuel Tete, the right back. He knew exactly what he was doing, whipping that cross beautifully. And the threat of Mama, once again evident, could have been lucky to be on target if that ball hadn't brushed off Razak Simpson.
The nations have in a fold a 16-year-old Samuel Tete, who's on the bench for Nations FC. And for Samartex, they also have Samuel Mensah Tete as well. Well, the teams have had to deal with a lot of young players in the Premier League this season. Nations equally having a 16-year-old setup.
Clearly, and that has been the dream of Ghana Football Association. If you can remember, during the Congress, we were advising the clubs to put in more of their youth players into their matchday squads. I think that it's impressive that these two technical benches have allowed these young players to form a part. And you can understand, the two coaches, Kasem Megalo Kansi loves youth. He's one of the coaches giving us some of the brightest talent. Isaac Vosa, Richmond Boachiado.
Wow. Just the second names being mentioned here.
Yeah.
Our nations have lost just 4 out of 35 home games. The Dr. Kwame Chase Sport Complex, the Ghana Premier League since the 2023-24 season, picked up 21 wins, drawn 10 of those games. They've lost only 4, scored 54 goals and conceded 20. Nations FC at home. This is your fortress, isn't it?
Venue that becomes difficult for teams to win their games. They were out of energy in the final part of last season that allowed teams to capitalize and win games here. It was Samuel Werdo's Wickham Chelsea who managed to win. Bashir Hayford's Heart of Lions equally got went here. And the Vienna FC also managed to defeat them. It's a dreaded venue you wouldn't want to visit. But so far, Samartex are doing the needful.
And holding their own. The last 10 minutes of the first half. Here comes Abe. Picks up here in the box, waiting. Chawete Danso drops deep to pick up the pieces. And he's been the most slippery and gritty player in the game. He's been lurking and running around. Dansu here. Here comes Ano. And again, there's a very standoffish tackle coming in there from Samartex.
Well, the danger he exactly knew and pulled out of that challenge. As you can see, that was too ragged coming in from Kojia. He's lucky to have just gotten the ball and not the man.
Yeah, absolutely. Zach Simpson going to hit one tip into the box there. It's been taken away from him and possession back to the home side. Is the goalkeeper Sainon getting support there from Kwame Boachi. The heart of defense, 3 back they're playing today, and we're having Razak Simpson drop in deep into midfield at least to show up the attacking play of the side. Abe is a target for this ball that also wins it for Nations. Abe is being bundled out of the ball there, comes back to Tete. Simpson repels the ball back into midfield. Ampofu looking for Chawete, but control with the hand there into the referee saw it.
Well, Claire, that was a handball there, picking up the ball with his hand. And that all came from that strength from Ibn Izakwa. Very much experienced. He knows what to do to curtail threats. It looks like he's asked Agueshima to move away, and then he's been handling Chawete himself.
And again, as Ano moving forward there, Chawete waiting. Ano again, too many work on him. And here comes Bedu and Dasu! And he hits it wide.
Had to startle a little bit because he couldn't sort out his feet. Ball fell to Prince Badu. He also couldn't have a very good touch. Danso should have hit the target from that range. His quality and technical ability. But decided to send the ball wide. You can also give credit to Samuel Tetementa. Put his body on the line, allow it Danso to pick up another mind of trying to go far post, ending way off target.
Yeah, simply surprised they couldn't really hit there with the right foot and decided to go with the left. That's a foul there. And Peru just hitting, going hard there on the Solomon Ajay.
Enterprising player, very calm on the ball. His composure, his ability to keep calm has been brilliant. What is left with the final ball getting to Mama. He's been waiting for lots of it, but he hasn't been successful.
Get another foul here.
I think that was clever there from the captain. He knew that he would have lost that challenge. Tries to throw himself and win that ball. And Aklogo is already getting tired. As a wing back, it's difficult.
It's a lot of work there by the two teams. Free kick here for the visitors. And Sana trying to get his wall ready for this free kick. Chestermore ending the first half there with just 5 minutes and added time to go. It's not really been that dramatic in the game there. A couple of chances coming the way of Nations FC. Very clear-cut ones. Abe and Danso getting some clean shot there, but flapped all of them. Now they have to defend this free kick here by FC Samartex, 1896. Once upon a time we're league winners as well. And again, ball sent in it. And Kufuor's headed out there. The referee spotting a little bit of a condition there, and so that's it's an offside situation. So advantage goes down to Nations FC here.
Well, Kufuor exactly knew what was happening, but he couldn't take chances. Safety first. But that was too quick a run there from Emmanuel Mama. Running into position just before the ball was hit.
Kufuor committing a foul again. Just got 5 minutes to go. Still goalless. Felix Junior Korea is the man who's been brought down.
Clearly too strong coming in from behind. Kofo knew exactly what he was doing. Kodia felt the pain. They quickly had to drop and win that free kick. Similar position just like the previous one.
Here comes Xiao. Before repels that header. And Razak. Oh, the experience of Razak is really coming into play here. And then there's Ampofo. It's Kufo. Defensively, they are very calm on the ball. They are not under any pressure there. It's Sagnon who tried to kick the ball back into the half of Samartex. It's been repelled into midfield. Meru beating. Ampofo picks it up. Calming things down is Kufo. Lifting the ball down to the right-hand side. So again, it's going to be Tete who trying to see the ball off the line. Physical, but again, it's Chawete who's looking for the opening to shoot there. Here comes Chawete. And the referee says no. Abe recycled the ball into the box, and this could be an opportunity to Kevin Ampofo to see if he can rebound the ball deep into the back of the net.
Eaton allowing the ball to roll. Fluid football. Good intent there from Ampofo. Another very best of connections. Credit that delivery from Abe. He hasn't had a bad delivery this game, but the consistency is what Faisal Chawete done so. And now we'll be looking forward to that it gets better in the rest of the minutes.
Some of the matches played there by Samartex here on this particular ground have produced 2 goals in the 2022-23 season. That's again a very difficult moment there. It's going to be Ampofo who's just put down the player, Felix Jr. Kodia, and it appears the 2 players are in a bit of a tug of war there. The referee will have to calm them down. And that's where the foul came in for. There's a little bit of a nudge there from Kodia, and Ampofo felt that the reaction from Kodia was a little bit unprofessional on his part there, and also reacted, and so the players had to go at each other, and there you have it.
They had no intent of going for the ball, he just went in for the man. And a game of football, reaction will be punished. Just allow the rules of the game and the referee take a decision. You can understand Daniel Lai taking time to speak to the 2 players involved in that scuffle. And it's a yellow card to Ampofo and Kodia. And I think that's the best decision to keep the players calm.
2 players on the referee's books there. Kelvin Ampofo of Nations FC and Felix Kodia Jr. as well. And Daniel Lai having some bit of a harsh word there for Kelvin, probably not really happy with the yellow card given. And Daniel Lai, one of the most experienced referees in Ghana at the moment, officiating the CAF sponsored competitions, being at the World Cups as well as worked as a VAR official as well for CAF.
Stopping his authority on the game.
Absolutely. The likes of Bafo Katana have all picked up some games there against Samartex where they lost by 2-0 then to confirmation of the yellow card. And since FC have also won 2-0 against Samartex here. Faisal about to play Samartex at his venue and also losing 2-0 to Samartex. That's match day 31 back in the 2022-23 season. The last time Samartex came here was last season, lost by 3-0.
And that was a devastating scoreline, you could understand. Those were Nations Football Club were just dreaded in fantastic fashion. They knew exactly what they were doing. Scoring freely and playing of the best quality football you can have on the local scene.
We are into stoppage time now. The first 45 minutes of the game here at the Brankesi Stadium. It's been a quiet afternoon. So last night the Evans opened with a bit of a shower there, but not that you're seeing in this afternoon in this game. The conversation as to whether the rains were going to come in thick and fast before the start of the game, but the storyline didn't really indicate that. 2 minutes about the time.
of the last 10 minutes. The two teams clearly need to pick themselves up as quickly as possible.
And again, at the near post, it picked up the best of a connection there by Ejenim Boateng. But Kelvin, I tell you what, your impression so far in the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's been brilliant, you know, pieces of play from the two teams. But decision-making in the final third has been little to be desired.
Well, again, it's Anowo just wriggling his way into the box there. I tell you what, I thought there was going to be a ball squared in for the likes of Dansu and Chawete to deal with it. But again, there's a call there from the referee just on the line. And Dansu was brought home by Samartex.
Also clearly went in to stop his man, and as you can see, it was just a stamp on his foot. His foot has just gone off. He started heckling him there, Dansu staying strong, trying to keep himself on his feet. But the challenge went in again with a stamp on his foot. And he had to just go down close to the action with the assistant referee waving his flag. Daniel Lai had no option than to give it. Good chance for them to find the opener before the break.
Dansu coming in to replace Samuel Tete, who started in their game against the Gianna Stars. Only the last action of the afternoon to the home side. It's going to be a left-footed ball into the box. And there's Sakugu's ball into the near post and goes off the bar there. That's a good play there from Nations FC.
But Abe this time around trying to hit the target. Headed with too much power. But they had to just go over the goalpost.
Tell you what, Nations FC have been unbeaten in its home games against teams based in the Western region in the Ghana Premier League since the 2023-24 season. It's the first half of this match against FC Samartex, another team from the Western region, and it's still goalless here the first 45 minutes.
Almost an equally balanced game, but unfortunately for the two teams, they didn't make very good use of the chances that they had, resulting in a goal is still made after the opening half. Clearly they can do better in the final third to try get goals.
It's been a day where the fans haven't really come in the way you probably would expect it, but it's Nations FC 0, FC Samartex 0 at halftime.
It's halftime here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, and Nations FC are drawing goalless against Samartex, a side that they've been able to beat ever since they qualified into the Ghana Premier League. I have with me the assistant coach of Samartex, Coach Henry Wellington. Now, Coach, you've kept it tight in the first 45 minutes. Is it going to be the same in the second 45 minutes?
You know, it's a very good game from both sides. It's a 50-50 game, but football is all about goals. So we are going back and come back strongly in the second half.
Of course. Are you going to throw caution to the wind a bit and see if you can win the second half?
Now we are going inside the dressing room. When we come back, we will know whether we are going to change the way we play or maintain the way we play. That's all.
Thanks very much, Coach Wellington there. He's the assistant coach of Samartex. It's goalless the break here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. The Nations FC, that is the home team, have created some decent opportunities, but they've not been able to convert them. And I have been joined by the assistant coach of Nations, Coach. First 45 minutes, incredible. You created chances, but you've not been able to score. What needs to change in the second 45?
Okay, we threw the ball for them. So now we are going to the
board. We are going to the board to finalize everything. So for the second half, everything will be okay.
Now, do you think the way they have sat tight and very conservative, you can break them down in the second 45 minutes?
By all means, we can break them.
Okay, let's see what happens in the second 45 minutes. Thanks very much, Coach Johnson Smith, the assistant coach of Nations FC there. So a lot to talk about in the second half, and we are looking forward to some goals here. We've been treated to very, very good football from Nations FC, especially creating all the chances. We'll take a quick breather here. We'll be right back, and I'll be joined by Kelvin and Akomia.
He terrorized defenses with his dribbles. No, don't body. He screamed the stadium. Was like for the general lifting up trophies. Stephen Odro was orchestrating.
Of the Ghana Premier League, and it's live on TV3 and on Onuya TV. Adisa Production Limited is always bringing you the best. My name is Mutala Yakubu, still here with Michael Akomia and Kelvin Owusu. And start goalless at the break. It hasn't been an easy game for Nations as many thought, Akomia.
Yes, it has been a very difficult game for both sides, Samartex and Nations FC. But I actually believe the first point of attack for Nations FC, they wanted to go through their wing backs. You look at Martin Akoglu and Abe. They needed to stretch the pitch, open up the width of the pitch, and make sure that they connect with these particular wing backs just to get more crosses into the penalty box for either Anor or Faisal Chaute to connect. But I think the midfield battle has also been very important. You look at Prince Edu and Kevin Ampofo against Kwaku Wusu and Latif. it has all been about the physical duels in that particular midfield, not necessarily about who is going to give an incisive pass or try and create from the middle of the pack. It's all about the physical battles, and I think that is not really helping nations to move the ball faster to that front. That is why you normally see Richard Danso dropping deep just to pick up the loose balls in a more free role, just to create chances for Nations FC. I think Samartex will be very okay with how they've actually set up, but for Nations, they really look frustrated with how the ball is not moving as fast as they want through the middle of the pack.
Well, the assistant coach, Henry Wellington, says that they will think about whether they have to change the tactics or not. For now, Samartex look very, very satisfied. Kelvin, the first 30 minutes was more like Nations FC against goalkeeper Zachary Musa of Samartex because they created the better chances.
Well, clearly, they were always going to create the better chances if you have Danso, if you have Chawete, if you have Ano, very creative, very intelligent to the ball, very fast, and you have Abe and then Akogo supporting as wing backs. Even Osaiko for the centre half has been joining in that midfield to send in those crossfield deliveries, trying to find Chawete. Unfortunately for them, the finishing has been, little to be desired, and you can understand the pressure from Kofi Abeshima and Ebene Isako, very experienced in the local game, limiting the number of times that, they will allow those loose ends for them to hit the target. So you can clearly understand Nation would always dominate, but as to whether they are going to have very good decisions made in the penalty area is what they have to better going forward. And that Samartex will always repel these attacks, and we've seen instances where Samartex have also come up high. If Mama gets any of those deliveries right and he connects beautifully, he could just beat goalkeeper San on impulse, and that could be, the fairy tale for them winning the first game ever here.
Of course, and Akomia, that brings me to that point. You've seen a lot of crosses being infected into the box by Nations FC. They are playing 3 up front, but usually there's no man in the box.
I think you look at the profile of attackers that they have in Faisal Chaute, Richard Danso, and Emmanuel Ano. These are not penalty box strikers. They don't have that particular instinct staying right in the penalty box.
In terms of their profile.
They are similar. They will need to just drop deep and make sure and try and play, because Emmanuel Ano will always want to be isolated against the fullbacks of any opponent. The moment you ask him to get into the penalty box, you are restricting him. The same as with Faisal Chaute. It happened in the game against Swedro All Blacks, and they needed to do a change and bring in Samuel Tete, who gave them that particular presence in the penalty box to connect from the crosses. And the crosses was literally coming from Kwame Boache, who was playing as the left centre back, not necessarily the left wing back in this aspect. So I want to see how things are going to change in the second half for Nations FC. But I think out of possession, Samartex, they've also been on point. Kwaku was dropping in between the centre backs to become the third centre back, just to make sure that they pick Nations FC's men 1v1 in terms of man marking and make sure that they don't penetrate or use the wing backs to get more crosses into the penalty box. I think that is a solid display out of possession for Samartex.
And it looks like if Samartex would get something meaningful from this game, Abdul Latif and Kwekusu will be pivotal. The two have been calm and collected on the ball. Should they try or be a bit daring going into the second half?
Well, I think that they should be daring, and lots more of the ball should be passed to Solomon Eje. He's been the brightest spot. He's been the one who can weave that magic for them, get the ball high up to Mama and Kodia. For Ajani Boateng, I think that he's been very, very limited in this game. He hasn't given, some bite to that attack. If they put Eje more on the ball, he'll be able to find these men in very crucial positions where they can test goalkeeper Osman Sana on impulse. He hasn't really been tested, and that has given him a holiday. If Eje sees more of the ball, it will help them rather, instead of, limiting themselves to Owusu and then, the other options that they have in that midfield.
Now I'm looking at Coach Christopher Henning, and he could be caught in a dilemma. You've never beaten this team before. It's 45 minutes to the end of the game. You're escaping with a draw. Would you want to throw the kitchen sink at Nations FC? Try and get something, because your 2 opening games have ended in a draw.
It's all about how psychologically they can adapt to this game. I think Nations will come with more attackers in the second half. They will press more, they will create more, they will push more, they will do a lot of things to get the goal. But it's up to you to be mentally ready to keep that particular clean sheet that you've always wished to keep at this particular grounds. Because in the last few games, they've conceded in every single game against Nations FC. 2-0, 1-1, 3-0, 1-0. It has always been a frustrating part of the game for Samartex to keep a clean sheet against Nations FC. And I think that will be the main focus, and it's really going to deal with how mentally they are going to be ready in the second half.
Of course, and we enjoy good football here, but there's also a fun fact. We have twins who are playing in today's game. Both of them are currently on the bench. Oko Gripman, formerly of Great Olympics with Nations FC, and his brother Roland, who was with Golden Cake, also with Samartex. Both of them could come on.
Roland and Raymond, yes, two very good centre-backs. You know, Oko, the senior of the two, played for Great Olympics, lots of experience. He's on the bench of Nations football. So for Samartex, they have, you know, one also who played excellent football in the local scene. And these two players add up some quality. But you ask yourself, if you look at the two centre-halves of both teams, you can understand the reason why they're on the bench. If Ebenezer Akwa and Kofi Abeshima, with the experience in the local league, are playing, you don't expect Gribman to have a say. And if you have Osei Kofo and you have Razak Simpson, these are top quality players. And let's not forget that for Kasim Mingolo Kansi, he's worked with Kofo and he understands the quality that he has. And for Razak Simpson, you and I know the quality that he has, the calmness he brings into a game. So we should just relax. Maybe they may have an opportunity to impact the game.
Surely we know what would happen in the second half. Definitely these teams will try to go for the killer. Second half about to start. 3-4-3 from Nations FC. Should that system change?
I think the first change is going to be about Ampofo going out for Isaac Botche just to come and complement Ms. Bedu in that particular midfield. I think there's going to be an introduction of Samartex, a penalty box striker who can come in and make sure that he's going to be at the end of those crosses that will be coming to the penalty box. Solomon Ejein was limping. I'm waiting to see what is going to happen with him, but they can't afford to miss him in the second half. He's been the creative spark for Samartex, and they can't afford to lose him in this particular second half.
Kevin, if you are Christopher Enning, would you go with the old adage, if it's not broken, you don't fix it?
Exactly, because they are playing three back, you are playing three forward. You are gradually walking into the game, getting some scoring opportunities. All you need to do is to tell Kodia and Ajanim Boateng to be a bit more daring so that they can work the defense and get some questions being answered. There's no need to fix any part of the team, but the only thing is get Ajay a lot more on the ball to plant the ball through so that Mama and then Kodia as well as Ajanim Boateng can pick up.
No, I've seen Nations FC throw a lot more forward. Could they be vulnerable in searching for that needed goal? Can Samartex capitalize on that vulnerability?
It depends on how they are going to set up when they have the ball. If they go with a 3-2 build-up, it's going to be difficult. But if they should go with a 3-1, that means they are going to have 6 attackers up front. That means Prince Bedu is going to be the only one who's going to be certain. In that case, Samartex will need to be very swift in the transition process in terms of the second half. They'll need to be very quick, counter-attack. Ajanim Boateng will need to be on guard. And they need to have a midfielder that can just give one pass just to split in the defensive shape of Nations FC to get the goals for them. It's a high-risk, high-reward kind of formation in the second half. If they decide to go with a 3-1-6 and Samartex decide to sit with more like a 5-3-2.
I mean, who could make the difference for Nations in the second half? Looking at the avalanche of attackers they have, Faisal Chawati, Emmanuel Ano in there.
I think it's Ano. Everything points to Ano. He's the most daring of the attackers that they have. But all the ball that they have needs to get through to Chawati, who I think has been more instinctive than the two others done so. And then that is Ano. But I think Ano has the ability to weave, you know, his way through and get into the penalty area to create a lot more goal-scoring opportunities.
I mean, you have to know what would happen in the second half. Just envisage it could be an avalanche of goals here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big game. First half ended goalless between Nations FC and Samartex, and the second half is about to start. So Calvin Osuansa will be joining Benjamin Willie Graham for the second half commentary.
We return to the broadcast stadium where the air is pretty much thick with expectation. But the story of match day 3 is still only half written. Nations FC and Samartex in the first 45 minutes to the blows, weaving a tale of great skill and restless ambition on this particular turf there. Where the drums will still beat, the chants will still soar, and every supporter here leans forward, hearts racing, awaiting the next chapter. Will Nations rise with the fire in their lungs, or will Samartex carve their mark with steel in their boots? This is what awaits us. 45 minutes remain. 45 minutes of heroes to emerge, for destiny to shift. Of course, football is what is the final rhythm here. Stay with us as the second half beckons and the drama of Abrankesi unfolds once more. It is Samartex Nations FC, match day 3 of the Ghana Premier League. And here we are. This is the beginning of the second chapter. This is the moment where the two teams will walk and hope they can get the 3 points at stake there. Here comes Ano. And also seeing the man move, Kelvin Ampofo. He's been charging in midfield and hoping to orchestrate things there for Nations FC. It's been pretty much tough for them to do so. They haven't really had a difficult time in terms of winning matches at home here against Samartex, but they've done that. One of the things they've done pretty well, Nations FC, is that they are unbeaten at home to a team based in the Western region. They've had to beat Samartex last season, beat Mediama as well. They've beaten Baseka Holy Stars as well. And as they have Razak down, riding in pain because of a challenge there with Kodia, who's already on a yellow card.
Well, a lot more cautious approach will need to come from Razak Simpson. That was a very poor touch to the ball, but I think Kodia just waiting with a stamp. He's already on a yellow card and needs to be very much careful. The second half teams will be expected to take lots of risk, you know, open up and then try to create a lot more goal scoring opportunities, ask lots of questions from the team. The advantage Samartex have is that 3 strikers playing against 3 defenders, but Nations can also work their way through. Emmanuel Lano, most brilliant of the attackers in there. Maybe a lot more of the ball should be fed through him so that he can find the other attackers inside the penalty area. But it's still a long way to go. A mistake could cost you 3 points.
Well, sent to the far side there by Latif Abdul, and the recycle into the box there for Tete was trying to deal with that situation there in terms of killing the ball deep into the half there of Nations FC.
Well, it's not clear, the game getting a bit more physical inside the opening minutes. But clearly, referee Donalai will be stamping his authority on the game. Can clearly see that was a bad hit.
Well, the man who's Engel has been a very interesting coach in the Ghana Premier League. He's seen a lot of work there. He's worked with quality players and he continues to work with a lot of them as well.
One of the best to really nurture talent and manage experienced players. You know, the difficulty of Augustine Oka every time he moves away. But whenever he returns, he seems to have, you know, that magic work again countless times. And it's all credit to this coach, Kasim Mingelo Kanti. Don't forget it, he molded every Aqua into the midfielder he was for the national team.
Well done, so struggling to keep his pace in the midfield, and here comes Arno. Back to Danso. Wayne said Danso would like to charge on the right-hand side. Swears it to a lovely play here, and Martin Akogo could have done better. Could have done better there for Nations FC.
Well, beautiful piece of play there from Arno. He found Danso, wiggled his way through. That was a beautiful ball plunged through into the penalty area. The cutback for the shot, missing the post.
Mama has been bundled down there by Akogo. Nations have picked up 5 wins and drawn 3, scored 13 and conceded 4 against teams based in the Western region. Seem to have certain upper hand over teams, especially when they're playing at home against Western-based sides. And Samartex themselves have had to deal with some interesting games played with Shanti regional-based teams. I talk about the performance of the Shanti regional-based teams. The likes of Ken Fires have had to lose at home to Samartex as well. Kumasia Santekodoko really have twice beating Samartex by a goal to nil. And Nations again in one of the boogie side there for Samartex here in the Shanti region. Here comes Arno, turns beautifully and waiting for Abe. Here comes Danso. He's got some quick feet there, Danso. This is Arno, turns well. Arno finds Chawete, and he looks to turn right. This is Martin Akogo. In the box waiting is Arno and the likes of Chawete, but couldn't quite get to him, but he wins a corner kick.
Corner kick there, and Martin seeing most of the ball in the second half. But Mama did his very best as a striker, dropping in deep to help block that effort for a corner kick. Nations look more lethal in the opening minutes of the second half.
Well, the former Wafa player there, Kogo, just moving in to deal with this ball. And so he wants to lift it deep into the far post. He does that here. It's Kufo. Didn't quite deal with the situation. Razak Simpson comes in with Mama there. And extension of the elbow there, committing the foul. And so the fans are not really happy about the call there from on the line.
Clearly see that Razak Simpson had his elbows high up. Just when he was about trying to win that ball, it went just into the face of Mama. Daniel Lai was close to the action. You can't begrudge him making that decision in favor of Samartex.
Nations have had to play 14 home games against previous winners of the Premier League. And picking up 8 wins and 2 defeats with 23 goals and goals conceded. Only Brekum Chelsea and Nigerian Stars are the previous winners of the Premier League that have won at Brankesi here since the 2023-24 season. And Nations FC have conceded in each of their match day 3 games in the Premier League. Yet to concede today.
Clearly very strong defensive work from the team. And every time that they play, you know, you can trust them to have that cover. If you have Razak Simpson, you're very much assured that you would have a very stable backline.
Ampofo to Kufo. Nations couldn't quite get the ball out, and so going to be an advantage to the visitors.
It looks like the second half is a bit more open. You can see Samartex and Nations trying to open up each other. Not like the first half where there was a bit of caution, trying to be more pragmatic.
Here comes Tete. Oh, the athleticism of Danso is quite commendable there. He moves from midfield defense into attack. Abe charging halfway line. Chawete. Ampofo. And here comes Kufo. Very experienced player there in the Premier League, isn't he?
Very much experienced. And he knows how to deliver at every point in time, regardless of the opposition.
Simpson. Ano. Bedu. Ampofo. Square swat to the right. Yeah, there's a Kogo they were looking for there. Nations. Possession loss. And here comes Mama for Nations. Just charging. Scott Kufo to beat, and he concedes free kick just close to the 18-yard box there. Yellow card to Kufo.
I think it's Prince Bedu just latching onto the heels of Emmanuel Mama. He clearly knew exactly what he was doing. Took his time. And Bedu in a rush to cover up for Kufo, who seemed to have been caught in that quick play. Had to bring him down. A yellow card, almost about the last man and just on the heels of the player. They were disappointed to take the yellow card, but he had to just do it to prevent the attacker.
Kelvin Ampofo on a yellow card, and Bedu also on a yellow card there. Bit of a concern for Nations FC. These 2 players, midfield then. And you're seeing exactly what the decision will be there for the coaches.
Shokasi Mengolo Kansi will be thinking about whether he should make changes now, because it doesn't look like he would have a smooth midfield without any injuries. Now he has 2 players on the yellow cards.
that's one of the changes and the difficult situation there for coaches to make, especially so when we're just looking for the 3 points so badly, and first 45 minutes was already gone and yet to score. The second half is pretty much open. Solomon Ajay here for the ball. It's going to be a right-footed ball there. Solomon Ajay hit one into the box there, has been repelled. And rightly so there, you have Nations FC trying to deal with the Lions quite well.
Very good cover there from Kwame Boachi. He knew exactly where that was headed. It would have been on target, but as to whether it was going to take that swerve, and he had that ball out.
And so, again, even his attacking duties to come back into the heart of defense to clear. Still Nations FC really got into the game the way they wanted. Steve Abdul, Tete. And third ball forward there with Abe, and Abe gets the upper hand.
The second half is going to be a lot more physical. Trust you me. You can't let your guards down.
It's possible that might see a change there from Nations FC. In this game last season, match day 3 was the Gianna Stars that hosted Nations FC, and they beat them by, well, Nations FC actually went all the way down to Doma to beat the Gianna by 2-1. So the only time they've won a match day 3 game was an away one against Gianna, and scored 2 goals and actually conceded as well. And so still not the best of efforts being delivered into the box there by Nations. It's been pretty lethargic for them. They haven't really done anything exciting in the second half.
You can also understand they don't have a target man. All these players up front, the 3 of them, are of a similar profile. They want to play from the outside and make a cut into the central areas. Could probably understand why they haven't really been instinctive up front.
Well, Samartex are beating their match day 3 games in the Premier League since the 2022-23 season. They have drawn with the Junior Stars and have beaten Bechem by 4-1. That was the 2023-24 season. And then in 2024-25 season, they drew goalless with Midiema, and they only picked up a win and 2 draws in the match day 3 in the Premier League. And Francisco's have scored as well. Well, a decision there would have to be made by the coach of our Nations FC. And so that's the 16-year-old Samuel Tete, who started their match against the Gianna Stars and is meant to sit on the bench, and he comes in to replace the midfielder, the former Wafa player, Martin Akogo. So that's the 16-year-old. He's being touted as one of the youngest players in the Premier League.
Very much instinctive. This is a target man. He always wants to be in the central attacking position areas. And we'll be looking forward to those deliveries from Oseko 4 and Abe getting a lot more to him. You can see a change of direction and a style from Kasim Mingolo Kante. They're going to go direct to Samuel Tete, who's come on. That will be a different dimension. Now an aerial threat for Ebenezer Akwa and Kofi Abeshima to deal with.
Well, again, he still have to struggle, and instinctively, his first attempt was to hit from behind the 18-yard box there, Samuel Tete. Well, I did mention to you that Samartex have a player known as Samuel Tete. Nations also have a player, Samuel Tete.
You can understand. The names may be similar, but the player profiles definitely different.
Well, one is a lateral player, centre-back, and of course you're looking at that Samuel Tete, and there's the man who's just been introduced, Samuel Tete, trying to poke that one there. Not the best of strike though, but that tells a story and why he's been brought on.
Clearly, he definitely knew what he wanted to do. Quickly ran onto the outside, got onto the edge of the penalty area. I'm sure he would be proud of the decision he made.
Trying to make a change. Solomon Ajay is out there. And it is Akwesi Sapong, another player who started against Karela, that had to sit out in the starting 11 here against Nations FC. An hour gone already, and it's still Nations nil, Samartex nil, and the confirmation of the substitution.
And you can see AJ limping off the pitch clearly just before the final minutes of the first half. He seemed to have picked up a knock. It's a like-for-like replacement. Just that Akwesi Sapon is that player who likes to burst forward, get himself a lot more into the final third to pick up on the scraps and hit the ball from about 25 to 30 yards.
Very much a creepy crawler there, isn't he? Samartex. He's already starting to make things uncomfortable there for the centre-backs of Samartex. Got 2 chances or 2 clear opportunities at least to punish them. Well, Kelvin, the bit interesting story here between Nations FC and Samartex is that Nations FC won their very first game in the Premier League when they won 2-0 against Samartex on Sunday, September 24, 2023, in match day 2. And that was the 2023-24 season, the same venue.
And it's going to be quite difficult to see it happen again unless there's something phenomenal, something different that will come from the two sides. They haven't really given questions that will be difficult for each other to answer.
Then Kufo again extending his arm there against Kodia, and he has to be taking off.
That seems to be on the blind side of Daniel Lai. You can clearly understand sending the 2 players away. Mama and Kufo seems to have some exchanges. Kodia and Kufo have just been, you know, hustling and bustling throughout. You can see the fiery in Mama's eye, clearly not happy with that act from Osaikofo. But once it happened on the blind side of the referee, the game continues. But hopefully Kodia returns quickly to join Samartex.
A decision again going against Danso. Just having to disagree with the referee there.
You can clearly understand him. Christian Ajeni Boateng was looking for the foul. But once he had that touch from Danso, he just had to fall because he was locked up into White Mill.
Tete. Ajeni Boateng. And again, his ball straight to the waiting arm of Sign-On, Nations goalkeeper. Chawate. Again, Bedu just didn't quite get to his target, Arno. Barry Maba was the first player to score for Nations FC in the Premier League when they just moved in, and he scored against FC Samartex on September 24, 2023. That was a match day 2 game. And the young man, Barry Maba, is currently playing for Gold Stars, also facing GS Kabylie there in the Cup Champions League.
Very enterprising player. Very quick on the ball. He understands his positioning and movement. He fell out of the pecking order and quickly had to move out to Bibiani to continue to seek more playing time.
Well, the name Stephen Amankuna just ring a bell, doesn't it?
Yeah, clearly.
Recoup Chelsea, Kotoko back to Recoup Chelsea, and Stephen Amankuna was the player who scored for Recoup Chelsea and making sure the Nations lost their home match back in 2024. And the very first time they lost here was against Recoup Chelsea, but that's the decision that Daniel Lai is taking that the fans really livid about.
Well, they may be livid, but he understands the situations on the pitch better. You can fault him, even if they are not clear and obvious errors.
Here comes Chawate. He's dropped the keeper in midfield. Chawate. Razak Simpson looking to drive here. Razak Simpson And it just off the bar it is.
We saw him score some of these belters last season. We'll be trying one here, but that was clearly way off target and too far away.
Well, he's grown in a lot of confidence there, hasn't he, since he joined the Black Stars in that Unity match back in London. And I talk about him cementing a place in the Black Stars defensive role, but hasn't really succeeded yet.
Well, he's become a calmer player, and you can understand his basics have always been evident. West Africa Football Academy to Liberty Professionals and Nations FC and their coach, who trusts development and time when he sees quality. Work with the Black Stars, you can clearly understand the dynamism with which it comes with him when he's defending.
Simpson. Before. Danso. Trying to pick up Chawete. And he got the wrong passing. And again, just running deep into the forest there, because it's Sapong. Samartex crowding Nations FC midfield. And Nations will pick the pieces together with Danso surging forward. It is Tete who was waiting for a pass there. And Tete trying to race deep to pick the pieces together there. Waiting in the box there is Arnaud and Chawete asking for the ball. Drops it deeper. As Abe recycles the ball into the box there. Oh, Kevin was looking to pounce on the loose ball, but I didn't brought in for Samartex. And it's a really difficult ball to deal with it there. It's Kufo. Just nudging home now and Mama there, and so obviously it would be a decision that was going against him.
It's getting interesting in the battle between Kufo and Emmanuel Mama. Very strong on the ball. There's no way he's going to give him an inch to breathe. Clearly knew the danger that was coming. And had to just bring his man down. Intelligent play there from Kufo.
Here comes Xiao for Samartex. Finds space. Latif. Ball in. It's been cleared away by Abe. Xiao picks the pieces together again. Mama. Well, the flag up for an offside. And that's against Xiao. Just goes to ground there and needs medical attention as well. So the last time FC Samartex won an away game in the Premier League was back in 2025 April, match day 27 against Lagos Cities. They won by 2-0. Talk about Samartex and whether they need to make some bring in some bit of changes in the game. It's been a moment where the two teams are looking to see exactly what changes they need to bring into the Premier League, especially this match at home here. Samartex have gone to an away game, and now it's Chawete here for Nations. Lift the ball deep into the box looking for Arnaud. And Tete couldn't quite get to him now. So there's the moment where the two teams would have to rest a little bit, and the changes coming in through there from the likes of Samartex. And so try as much as possible to pull out Emmanuel Xiao. The captain is out. And he'll be taken there by Roland Gripman. And a man who got a chance to play for Golden Kicks, so get a chance to play a part. And so Samuel Tete, who's also been taken out. So we're also looking to see the like of Usman Zakaria coming into the game there. And so Roland Gripman here for the captain, Xiao. And Kodia, who's also getting a chance to rest a little bit. And so that's Osman Zakaria, who again started the match there against Arela. Now gets a chance to play a part.
You can clearly understand the substitutions being made now. Kodia going off. And also having Edusian, the captain, he went down painfully because he just felt something with it. It's a like for like on the left-hand side of defense. But in attack, Kodia certainly has to just go off. He's done his part, and it looked like was out of energy. Couldn't trust not to take any chances, leaving tired legs on the pitch.
Abe, with 20 minutes and stoppage time to go, it's a ball sent into the box there, has been repelled. Here comes Anijin Boateng, and then he calmly and collectively gets the ball away there from the danger zone. But Zach Simpson in charging, but the goalkeeper comes in to make a change here.
You clearly understand the kind of play you're looking forward to latching on to. Osman Zakaria is clearly going to lead the attack, and Mama now has to play from the left-hand side of the attack. Another variation to have a target man who is more instinctive up front.
A bit surprising there to find out that these two sides are yet to come out. It just come down so. And just gotten off his feet. Need to have some bit of openings here, these two teams.
Nations asking lots of questions now in the last couple of minutes. The Samartex have been able to deal with the threats.
And here is Abe. And this time it's going to be Danso's ball. It's just kind of one wide.
The effort's going wide. Was looking for a better connection to that ball, but you can credit also for that pressure, forcing Danso to hit the ball quickly, resulting in it going high over the goalpost. Nations gradually finding the loose ends, but failing to capitalize, not even working the goalkeeper.
Tete swings ball to the far post. And again, Anijin Boateng just struggling to get the final touch on the ball there. You can actually see the disappointment on his face.
There was poor communication between the two players, Zakaria and Anijin Boateng. Just had to fight for one ball and couldn't have the best of connections. That is clearly not ideal, and decision-making needs to be better at the moment. And as you can see, Ibn Izakwa, with his experience, has just moved down to the right-hand side of defense, with Oko Gripman dropping into central defense.
Chawate for Nations. This pass is man again. It's another feeble pass there from two sides. They have really not been able to get things going in the second half. But for the fans, it's just a party time for them.
They're doing their best to throw the weight behind their team.
Samartex
goals are not coming.
Yes, I tell you what, they're looking for that goal there. Samartex have really played 5 away games, spanning 450 minutes so far in the Premier League. Good drawn games for them, and a long throw into the box, and again, it's one of the most difficult moment there for them to do is Samartex trying to get the ball out of the danger zone, and it's been difficult for them to do that. They've been able to be pinned back onto their own half there by the Nations FC side, who are lurking and looking for the goal, aren't they?
Obviously looking for the goal, but they haven't been lucky with their deliveries.
Well, it's going to be Arnold's ball into the box there. The goalkeeper was really off his position. And this man is just hungry for the goal, isn't he?
He's been just causing lots of trouble.
Return there from him, Arno. There's a pretty exciting player to work the Kufuor's ball into the far post. Tete with a jumping head here. Here comes Arno. Danso is looking foot pass on another ball there, but again it's been repelled. Simpson wins it back there for Nations. This is Kufuor. Back to Simpson. And support there from Boache. Abe is waiting for it. Bedu calls for it, he wins it. And Kufuor once again Always looking for a long ball into the box there, and Samuel Tete trying to come things for Samartex. It's been 52 away games in the Premier League in the 2022-23 season there for Samartex. Only 8 wins there for them. 17 drawn games, 31 goals scored, 56 goals conceded in the 52 away games played there by Samartex in the Premier League. We are into the last quarter of the game and so goalless, Kelvin.
I'm sure this time will be getting frustrating for both coaches, but it's too much time in the final quarter of an hour for the game to be played. Just need to ask a lot more questions, take a risk at this moment, which we haven't seen the two teams do in all the minutes we've seen.
And now is the man in the 18 shirts, Osman. It's been bundled down. Danso. Ampofo. Back to Danso. And it's been taken away from him. It's Bedu here for the Nations. Benizakwa with the captain Amban after the exit of the captain Xiao. Someone just losing the ball in the half of midfield there, allowing the likes of Abe and Arnold to win back possession, and now they concede a free kick.
Oh, rash challenge coming in there from Gripman. He was late to the ball. Just had to bring his man Abe down. That was clearly malicious challenge coming in from Gripman.
Well, Abe is out for a player on the 20 shirt there. There's Abdul Mashoud to replace Abe.
For like replacement, wants more energy, more pace, lots of deliveries inside the penalty area. And needs to go badly.
Go forward the long through once again. And Mashoud, once again, is pretty much under the best of control there. It appears some of the players are already getting tired with Dansu pushing in. Mashoud with an opportunity to kill the ball back, and again he's been picked up by the goalkeeper Zakaria Musa.
The idea was very brilliant. Richard Danso just plunging the ball through. Was looking for the cutback. It just went directly into the goalkeeper's area. He'll be glad to pick that one up. That's a routine save.
Samartex was the 4th club from the Western region to have won the Ghana Premier League since its inception back in 1956. The likes of Secondary 11 Wise won it back in the 1960-61 season, as Zakes also picked it up back in 1977, and Mediama AC in the 2022-23 season. And Gold Stars are the 5th club from the Western region to have won the Premier League title. So, the likes of Samartex also picking it up. Interesting. A lot of clubs from the Western region playing a role in the Ghana Premier League. You do recall the likes of Ibianigo Inase, Karela, you remember the name, Pristia Mines. It's been Takwa Gold Stars as well.
Yeah. They've been in the others for long. They haven't been able to pick up the pieces and get back stronger into the top flight football.
A lot of changes we made. Interesting decision there maybe could be made with the likes of Mama being pulled out possibly, and it could be the likes of Godwin Sefa to play a role because Sefa started a match against Karela and had to be made to sit out. And Mama also started that match against Karela, starting today, and Sifa may get a chance to be playing a part in the last 10 minutes or so in the game left.
I clearly understand.
Again, another best of try there, wasn't it? There from Sapong after seeing the goalkeeper off his line.
You saw the goalkeeper off his line, instinctively trying to work some magic, but unfortunately, it couldn't happen as expected.
Here comes the player Mama, who's been withdrawn from the game after a quiet afternoon there for him. He was a tormentor-in-chief the match against Karela, but not the best there today. And the decision has been made there by the coach to ensure that at least he injects some of the pace in the game. There's a decision there with the likes of Sifa and Bafo may get a chance to play a part in the dynamics of the game. A little bit of a hold up here. A decision would have to be made as to whether the substitution should be made to go on or so.
Well, it looks like originally Christian Atachima was supposed to come off, but neither of those substitutions has worked, and the game will continue. It's quite surprising, the frustration and that comes off the Samartex bench. Clearly want to have a rethink of that decision.
Ajin Boateng. Osu. Well, Kevin, your assessment so far after knowing these two teams are actually not the best of results in match day 2, with Nation FC losing to Adriana and then having Karela also going hard at Samartex. But substitution is being made currently there. Jinin Boateng is just have to make way. And Bafo is coming in for Jinin Boateng.
Clearly he's very much tired. He was more enterprising in the first half. But the second half, he's added very little to the game.
Mama is also finally being withdrawn there in his position. Will be taken there by Odin Sifa.
2 fresh legs coming to fill in attacking positions for Samartex. Because the defending knows that at this point in time, you can just manage to do the unthinkable by getting final minute victory.
Tete, chance to have my shoot, and taken away, and not the best of control there from Gordon Sifa as well. Too many touches there. It's my shoot here. The school force ball to the far post once again. Tete in, and picked up by Zakaria Musa.
Very agile goalkeeper, but the cross was always hanging, and it gave the goalkeeper ample time to come out of his area to pick it up. The intent was clear. Before had better deliveries in the first half than he's doing at the moment.
Good play here. This could be Samson with a timely intervention. Got something to tell you there, Kelvin. It's going to be an interesting story for you to hear about Nations FC.
Go ahead.
Well, Nations FC are unbeaten in their home matches in the month of September in the Premier League since their 2023-24 season. They've won against Samartex. They've drawn against Becheb United, was goalless, and they drew here against House of Oak in their 2024 season. They've only picked up a win. They've drawn 2, scored 2 goals, and yet to concede in the month of September in the Premier League. And it is 84 minutes, 85 minutes. It's still Nations nil, Samartex nil.
Very impressive, but this game, trust you me, should they end in a draw, will feel more like a loss to them. They want to challenge for the trophy this time around and win it. They can't afford to be dropping points at home, especially in the opening games of the season.
Well, the contrast of it is that Samartex away matches in the month of September, the Premier League, been interesting there because they've drawn 2, lost 2, and they've conceded 2 goals and scored 2 goals actually and conceded 4. They've drawn with the Junior Stars. They have lost to Nations as well, drawn to Dreams FC and Vision as well in the month of September. Nations FC have kept 31 clean sheets out of 70 games played in the Premier League since the 2023-24 season, and again, it's goalless.
Quite balanced the team. They were looking forward to replicating that form. The best they've ever recorded here, that is a draw. They could be lucky, but they need to be very conscious.
Powerful there with that Danso fighting for supremacy here, but Danso wins it there for Nations. Cut out. Two clubs in the Premier League on CAF duties there, and Gold Stars and Kumasi Asante Kelvin. That was the strength of the Ghana Premier League so far. It's been difficult to have Ghanaian clubs competing favorably back in the CAF competition. We have that Dreams FC doing so in the group stages, only to lose at home to Esperance. The likes of Precum Chelsea and Midiama, all of them have had a taste of the CAF competitions. And so looking at the performance of both Gold Stars and Kodoko Kevin, your take on it?
Well, consistency hasn't been key. In the last 5 years, you've seen 5 different teams represent Ghana in Africa. And every time they go, you just realize that lack of experience killing the teams. But for Santiago, they have a less stronger side in Kwara United, which I think they can maneuver their way and get through. Gold Stars have a daunting task against GS Kabylie. Kabylie, just by the name, because they currently lie 14th on their league log, which clearly gives you an indication they haven't been doing so well. But they hold a 2-0 advantage scoreline, and that could be mountainous for Gold Stars to climb.
Here comes Isaac Bafo here for Samartex. He's got pace, and Simpson clears. Ampofo. Well, now soon a hurry to restart the game there for Nations FC.
Clearly
time not on the side. Time not really on the side, isn't it?
Not at all. The two sides have been very good battling for the ball in the mid section, but in the final third, they haven't been smart enough.
Nations doing their best. The Samartex so far kept 46 clean sheets out of 104 games in the Premier League in the 2022-23 seasons. The best position there for Nations FC was back at the 5th place with 57 points in the 2024-25 season. That was a season they could have won the Premier League title, Nations FC.
Fortunately for them, it always boils down to the final games of the season, where they are not so much impressive, missing out on victories and games they could have won.
Sifa. Again, was everything right, but the final delivery always letting the teams down. I'll tell you what, the worst performance there of the Samartex team was in the 2023 season, where they placed 10th with 46 points there, but I'll tell you what, Nations FC have had the worst performance being 7th with 49 points. The same team with the same level of performance and just about strength-wise, the same balance of play.
Clearly, as you can see, every single time we just a couple of points, the position may be disappointing, but if you look at the margin of points in between them and the winner of the league, clearly gives you an indication how tight and close they could have come. Just about 5-6 points separating them from the ultimate winners. You can see the famous cake seller at the Barbara Sports Stadium.
He's also here to support the side.
And you can see here in here Asante Kotoko Babe.
We're doing 4 minutes at a time here in this game. We're producing yet stalemate between the two sides. Okay. Opportunity now for Samartex into the box. That's if I was the target, but couldn't quite get to him. And, Nations with ample full. Always looking for Tete. Again, the best of control. Here comes Gordon Sifa. Possession lost. Ample full also not able to control well. Ball taken off by Latif. Surging to the right-hand side. And out of play.
Lots of misplaced passes, lots of bad decisions there. Hasn't been impressive from the two sides.
Just about 3 minutes to go. These two teams has been a run-up performance. Same wavelength. Same attacking threats. Neutralize most of the time when the balls are hit into the box. The team has been able to produce any excellent performance in the second half. The first half, you see some closely needed performance there by the two sides, but that hasn't really lived up to expectation in the second half, hasn't it?
Well, they haven't been daunting enough. They haven't been asking too many questions. And I think it all boils down to the fear of taking risk. This is a game of football. If you don't take chances, it becomes difficult for you to find
Absolutely.
the target.
On the ball to Tete. The referee spots a little bit of a push there. Oh, the cake seller in the Kodoko baby is really excited because perhaps she's picked up a news there from Nigeria, hasn't she?
Well, she's a favorite cake seller at the Barbara Stadium, but unfortunately, his team is far away in Nigeria playing. He can only have some joy here at the Kwame Chase Sports Complex, and you can see a bit frustrated Nations not giving her the joy she wants.
Well, they have only picked up 2 points in the Premier League. Samartex, they may have another one, making it 3. And for Nations FC, only 3 points. That makes it 4 points for them if the game ends in a draw.
And I'm sure Samartex will be very glad coming all the way to the Kwame Chase Sports Complex, a venue they hardly pick any point from. To get a point, that could be a win. They go back to Samartex, get a win, I think, Century Sports Stadium, and that could push them to 6 points.
Well, the development of their football is that there's going to be a back-to-back drawn games for them. Samartex after draw with Karela, and now another drawn game here against Nations FC.
No, they will say there's no need to cry over spilt milk. You know,
well, once it's not a defeat, it's still good to go.
Exactly, you got to earn a point against Nations
But I
Football
tell you
Club.
what, there's just a little we can actually pick from the two sides because of 4 points and 3.
And the indication from the captain just in the dugout clearly gives you an indication they will be happy with a draw because time is almost up. They don't want to take any more risk.
Into the 5th minute of the 4 at a time. Samartex. Bafu finds Sapong. Again, it's Razak Simpson. And Bafu had coming into that place. I'll tell you what, The unbeaten run at home still continues unabated there. Nations FC. This is the very first time that they failed to score against Samartex. But their run of not conceding in the month of September still continues there for Nations FC. It's certainly not the best performance there for them. They were looking for the 3 points at all costs. And a back-to-back drawn game there for Samartex. Not a defeat, they will take it as a victory for them. It's 4 points for Nations FC and 3 points there for Samartex, as both sides couldn't really find the back of the net.
Well, both sides had very resolute defense. In midfield, the battle was end-to-end, but in attack, they looked very listless. The reason why the game had to end barren. Impressive result for Samartex coming all the way to pick a point. Nations FC, this will feel like a loss, and it's from the demeanor of the players. Just on the pitch, they would have wanted a win to push themselves high up the Ghana Premier League ladder. Quite unfortunate, but this, as a result, Christopher Enin would want better than Kasim Mingolo Kansi will appreciate.
Little talking point in the game, but it finished here. Nations FC 0, FC Samartex 0.
So after 90 minutes of exciting football here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, it ended goalless between Nations FC and Samartex. Both teams are going away with 1 point. And I've been joined by the coach of Samartex, Christopher. And in coach, I mean, I know how frustrating you've been in the last couple of weeks. This is a massive draw, I must say.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, coming to play here and getting a draw, I think it's not a bad thing, but I still need to work so that we can get the win. Because 3 draws, I think we are still behind. So we have to go and work and then bounce back.
Okay, now today you kept it tight at the back. I mean, not letting in Nations FC create spaces in there. Was it an instruction that you gave to the back four?
Definitely, it's an instruction, and we watch them. We watch their videos. Even as last night, I took time and watched them, and I saw the strengths. So I decided, okay, now I will just focus on their strength. Then I will capitalize on their weaknesses. But unfortunately, we couldn't get enough chances like we are wishing.
I mean, today was a near perfect performance, but which areas in your team do you think needs the massive improvement?
Yeah, I think still I need to work on the attacking. This week we did a lot on the attacking. I think I still have to continue so that we'll get the goals.
Next up, home game against Mediema. Big one for you. How are you approaching that one?
Yeah, it's quite going to be tough because they beat us 1, and I know they will come with enough confidence that, since they beat us in the Cheche, they will definitely beat us. But it's going to be a different game altogether because I could see the mentality and then the physique of the players. They are fully prepared now. So I think it's going to be a good game. And at the end of the day, we have to win than nothing.
Coach, we wish you all the best in your other games that you play. Coach Christopher Enin is actually the head coach of Samartex. They've ended a hard-fought draw here against Nations FC, a side that they've not beaten ever in the Ghana Premier League. So I've been also joined by the head coach of Nations FC, Kasim Mingo. Coach, I know it's not the exact result you wanted, but how would you assess the team's overall performance today?
Our team?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad. We did our best, but our best was not enough for us to get the 3 points.
Now, I mean, you wanted the 3 points. Do you think the way Samartex set up, defensive, conservative, made it difficult for you to break them down?
But we have some few chances we have converted them. But all the way they blocked the defense and the midfield, we were able to penetrate several times. But it's only the finishing we couldn't convert the chances that we had.
Now you have some of the best strikers in the Ghana Premier League. Emmanuel Arno, you have Richard Down, so you still have Chawate in your team. Why are they not scoring this season?
It will come. It's football. At times it happens. We are getting the chances, we are not converting them. So when we start converting them, then the results will come.
Next game on the road, how would you prepare for that one?
And we're going to do a normal preparation. We prepare for matches. We are going to prepare for. We're going to Mediama. We're going to prepare for it.
Wish you all the best, coach.
Thank
now
you.
That is the head coach of Nations FC, there, Kasim Mengo Okansi, saying that they will take this draw in good faith, even though it wasn't the result that they were expecting, because they came into this game wanting to win. I've been joined by the player who was adjudged the most valuable player or the best player into this game, Richard. And so, Richard, but it's also one kasa I vote to MVP when they give him.
I think team, we are together as a team, but individual performance is show. So today, match, boy, it was a nice game just by win, but I do my best and I think I deserve you guys. Musumu, I deserve the money.
And then I'm bisa coach say, oh, Faisal Chawate, I know these are great players. Ebani say na mubo games are muntimin goals.
See, this is our new season. And try to obey you train because you're both together that this season of so trying the first match I mean no start position
Now finally, next game more away. Team na hefa na ojidi say here improvement kese.
Yeah. I think Obia and Juma Park and so, but together as a team, the win in the Obia the best coaches, staff, Obia players in team board, Obia and the best. I think it's a normal best.
Richard, we wish you all the best. And Richard Danso was as the most valuable player in today's game. It's been a good one here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, despite the fact that we could not get any goals or record any goals in this one. Nations FC drawing goalless with Samartex in match day 3 of the Ghana Premier League. My name is Mutala Yakubu. We'll be on the road again for match day 4, but catch us every Tuesday and Thursday when we bring you the review and the preview show on TV3 at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Adisa Production would always bring you the magic. I did this with Kelvin Owusu-Ansah and Michael Akomia, who is a Kumasi-based sports journalist. My name again is Mutala Yakubu. Catch you on the road for match day 4. Until then, it's au revoir. Bye-bye.